The more I watch Young Blackjack, the more I realize that this entire season of Young Blackjack is just setting up for Blackjack. Because every person that Hazama usually encounters, sometimes we get this little narration at the end of the episode, or arc, and it says, like, this person will go down an unexpected path, or this person will never meet Hazama again. We've seen this quite a few times, and with the end of this episode, you have it to where the dude that got his operation in this episode, we found out by the narrator that this guy will go down a path that was unexpected, like he never saw coming. And you can assume the path he's going to go down is probably going to be a very dark path because of how the ending was done. He screams and yells because he hears his old co-workers pretty much making fun of him and also setting him up to where he could never be a surgeon ever again. So with that, I feel like the unexpected path might be a darker path, like an underground surgeon or something, because of the way that final scene was done. This episode of Young Blackjack tackles a topic of prosthetic limbs, and quite the emotional episode. We get to see the life or how someone deals with losing their limbs, the repercussions of losing their limbs, how they're no longer like a normal person, and it's very sad the way this episode was depicted, because you see how this surgeon, he used to have to use his hands. Like, as you know, a surgeon needs to have precise hands to be able to do operations, and if you lose that, well, you can't be a surgeon anymore. You can't do a lot of things if you don't have, like, your hands or your legs. And seeing that, it's very sad, because, I mean, if you spent your entire life researching and, you know, kind of researching for being able to be a surgeon and do surgery and stuff and to save people, and then all of a sudden you lose your legs and arms, that's a really sad fate, because the poor guy can't do what he wanted to do. And this topic is a very sad topic that got to me, and I'm like, damn, it's one of those episodes. It's going to be a very sad episode. And what makes you assume what's going on here behind the scenes is that the co-workers of the surgeon that lost his limbs, I'm assuming that he got set up, because judging by the way the conversation was with the co-workers, they were talking about like, oh, it's kind of unfortunate that he survived, and we see a quick glimpse of how he led up to his surgery. Supposedly, he was in a car, the brake wasn't working, and then he hit a guardrail, and it seems like he might have fell off a ledge or something, and then he probably lost his limbs because of that. And when we see that, it makes you assume that maybe those guys set him up, maybe did something to his car to where, you know, he would possibly die. So it's pretty fucked up finding that out as well, knowing that these people are messing with this dude's life and pretty much made him have this tragedy that he now lives. For instance, being limbless, and now he's probably going down an unexpected path that's no longer a good path at all, like not a legal path. Hazama experiences a little bit of failure in this episode. He's already experienced it once before, but with this, it has a little bit of a greater impact on him, I think, in the near future, because with this surgery that Hazama just did to the doctor, and then how the doctor now is going down this unexpected path, I feel like later down the road, Hazama is going to reflect on what he did, and he's going to be like, oh, holy shit, what have I done? And the main reason why this guy got turned down was because he looked like an abomination, like a robot, and I don't know if that story is true or not. Maybe the co-workers were lying to him, but I mean, the main point is like, that's how some would look at this guy. I mean, if you saw this guy come out and, you know, pulls out like robotic limbs and stuff, and he's starting to do operation, majority of people, let's be real here, would think he is some form of robot or something. That's what people would think, honestly. And when you see how that was done in this episode, it was a very human conversation, because that's what people would do. They judge others by their appearance and how they look. That's the first thing in human nature. Depending on someone's looks, you're going to judge them or peg them for what they probably are, what type of personality they have because of the way they look. And it's a very sad piece of truth. And that's about it when it comes to this episode of Young Blackjack. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. How do you feel about the topic that was tackled in this episode? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please be safe. Chibi out.